Welcome to the Hard Rap Cafe. I'm your host, Rocky Dennis. Each week, we gonna bring you the hardest verses, projects, and MCs from everywhere. From everywhere. This is the livest music review show anywhere. And this week, we're going to get into the story of KLOTH, a part of CRU THIK, Dynasty Raiders, out of Newport News, Virginia, the 757 Tidewater Peninsula area. KLOTH put a project out called Niggas Better Act Right in 2003, which caused the uproar in the city of Newport News and the surrounding cities of the 7 cities. The project actually got stopped from coming out due to street politics. The tension in the city and in the air was so thick, you can cut it with a knife. So I'm going to start the story off at the distribution deal meeting at Virgin Records with myself, a.k.a. Danger. Daily always, I never joke around. And CRU THIK, a.k.a. the Dynasty Raiders. At this particular time, we were on a mission to get a distribution deal from a project that was being worked on by Tyrant, the crew ruler, a.k.a. Ty Gracie, and Allen Iverson. Now, I'm going to take you back to where the beginnings of the KLOTH came from. The KLOTH was born in Newport News, Virginia, out of necessity. CRU THIK had became an instant worldwide phenomenon when Allen Iverson got drafted in the 1996 NBA draft, the number 1 draft pick. Instantly, it was all over the world. At this particular time, we were in the street making the craziest music of our lives. Now, I did a lot of traveling with Allen and Tyrant. People know him as E as well, you know what I'm saying? Tyrant, you might know him as EJ. So, this particular summer of 2003, excuse me, we've been traveling around, recording these records for E's project. We had records with a lot of different people, just to name a few: Snoop Dogg, Cool G Rap, Fat Joe. I think he had Nicole Ray up there, but I was with him every day. Me and Tyrant, you know what I mean, and Allen, Bubba Chuck, you know what I'm saying. We had been traveling around recording this project. We recorded some of the music in upstate New York at Chad Elliott house. Chad Elliott was responsible for a lot of music, man. At the time, I think Joe Button was up there with us. Destiny's Child, I know he did. LL, DMX, amongst others, you know what I mean? So during the process of recording this project for E, I was getting noticed, you know, by engineers, producers, whoever. You know what I mean? They the records I was on, you know, they started going crazy when they heard me, you know what I mean? So it was all good at that time. Like, okay, this nigga crazy, you know what I'm saying? So during this process, you know, I had been traveling, been away from home for, you know, months at a time. You know, we on the road, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, AI got drafted in 96, so he's in the prime of his career at this time. And we doing the damn thing. So me and AI got the same birthday, June the 7th, you know what I mean? And you know, it was amazing, you know what I'm saying, as far as the parties and things of that nature, man, we did it up, you know what I'm saying? So this particular summer though, we were ready to get the distribution deal for Ty Gracie. So he had the project pretty much done. You know, we went to Cali, got with Snoop. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we got with Fat Joe, goddamn Cool G came through. You know what I mean? Which that was an incredible session, you know what I'm saying? And at this particular time, you know, we were buzzing, you know, through the industry. You know, they knew, they heard about us pretty much, you know what I'm saying? A lot of industry people knew what was going on as far as what CRU THIK and Ty Gracie, you know, were doing. So the summer of 2003, we had a distribution deal meeting with Virgin Records. Now, at the time, Bubba Chuck was, you know, he was doing the basketball thing. You know what I mean? This was the Olympics coming up. So we really didn't bother him with too much other stuff as far as business-wise when he was in basketball mode. You know what I'm saying? Because that was his thing. But it was a meeting coming up. Now, before this meeting, like I said, I had been on the road with E and Bubba, you know what I'm saying, for months, you know what I mean? So I ain't been home and shit. And shit is real, you know, when my man got drafted in 96, we pretty much had to drop a lot of shit that we was doing to eat, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was over with. You know, them people put magnifying glasses on you immediately when that shit happens, you know what I'm saying? So we all in with the homie, nigga. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Number one pick, nigga, we out of here. You know what I mean? So fast forward back to this time of this meeting that we got coming up. I'm actually in Philadelphia. Now, prior to this meeting, you know, in the weeks or months before this, like I told you, I had been getting noticed by a lot of producers, you know what I mean, engineers, industry people like, yo, we see what y'all doing, but who the fuck is that nigga? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of in the background, you know, this nigga Danger and shit that we keep hearing on these fucking records. This nigga crazy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking it's all good, you know what I mean? Like, we going in, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know where the disconnect was, but at some point, me and E or Ty Gracie, we had kind of stopped seeing eye to eye, but it wasn't really nothing, you know what I mean? I didn't know that it was nothing, you know. I just felt it was a little different energy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in Philadelphia at the time that we about to have this meeting, but I don't even know about the meeting. You know what I mean? I'm just there waiting for this bread, you know what I'm saying, that we supposed to get for the label. You know, Chuck had put some bread in the account for us, you know, to have while we recording this project for Tyrant, you know what I'm saying, for Ty Gracie and shit. So that shit was getting, you know, everybody was sticking their hands in that pot. We ain't even get shit, you know what I'm saying? But it was a couple little trinkets handed out, you know what I mean, during the process. But at this time, I'm ready to go back home to the crib. I wanted to get back Virginia, nigga. I'm in Philadelphia. I've been gone for fucking months, you know what I mean? So we get a beat CD from a couple different producers, you know what I'm saying? We was collecting beats and shit, and the nigga E, you know what I'm saying, my man, you know what I'm saying, Ty Gracie, you know, he had the CD for a couple of months, you know what I mean, and then he ended up giving it to me. So when he gave it to me, it was some shit that he never picked, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I got the CD, I looked through the shit, you know what I'm saying? And now we in Philadelphia at this time. I started skipping through the CD and I heard a couple tracks. One of these tracks from a producer called Pop Tracks. And I was staying with Maul, you know what I mean? Rest in peace. Maul passed away. He was a good brother, man, that held us down while we was in Philadelphia. But he came to the studio with me to record this record. This record changed my life. When I made this record called Everyday Life, we didn't have social media then. That shit went crazy up and down the East Coast and everywhere through the NBA. Pop Tracks made the record. I went to the studio with Maul and we did this shit.
Yeah, my nigga Pop Tracks. And I'm that motherfucking nigga Danger. Check this shit. This is everyday life for a nigga like me. On the grind, trying to get it, I'm considered to be America's nightmare, times that by 3. When I'm sipping on that liquor and choking on that tree. This is everyday life for them niggas like us. Trying to get it, fucking with it, cause this shit is a must. Pull them things out quick, keep them ready to bust. It's not a soul, not a person that a nigga can trust. This is everyday life. This is everyday life for a nigga. Jars full of grass with a glass full of liquor. Car full of gas, hauling ass till I hit you with the flash on my hammer. Bright enough to take your picture, bitch. This is everyday life for a hustler. Pocket full of shit and I'm looking for a customer. Talk a lot of shit, get hit with the muffler. Lift your feet up like the ground, move out from up under you. This is everyday life for a soldier. Big guns, keep guns tucked up in the holster. Shoot first, ask questions after shit is over. Get killed for some bullshit, that's what half the shit is over. This is everyday life for a pimp. Check my clothes, check my hoes, walk with a limp. Check my hoes, camel toes, you can see the print. Pimpin' ain't easy, but I bet it pay the rent. Yo, this is everyday life. nigga Mikhail. This is everyday life in the struggle. Trying to reach the top for a nigga pop my bubble. How you ducking shots for your ass be in trouble. And they'll be breaking that grass with the shovel, nigga. This is everyday life in the hood. But shit is fucked up, sometimes shit is good. But most of the time, niggas die before they should. I miss my niggas, I'll bring them back if I could. Yo, this is everyday life in the jungle. Where niggas wanna beef and niggas wanna rumble. And some niggas is arrogant, some niggas is humble. Some niggas stand up to the pressure while the rest of the niggas crumble. This is everyday life in the system. Charged with assault for a knife in the victim. Charges is caught, spend life in detention. Never coming home again, never seen or never mentioned. This is everyday life.
Yo, so I recorded that shit, right? And like I said, it was really like one of my first, that shit 2003, you know what I'm saying? So it's like one of my first solo record, you know what I'm saying? The whole time I'm just jumping on songs with Tyrant, you know what I'm saying, with Ty Gracie and shit. And when I went and did that record, you know what I'm saying, I recorded that shit in Philadelphia at Gamble and Huff studio, you know what I mean, Pop Tracks people and shit, you know what I'm saying, it's Pops. A lot of people recorded there, the Roots, you know what I mean, anybody in Philly you think of, they been in that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying. So I recorded that shit, and when AI got that shit, nigga, when Bubba Chuck got the record, that nigga lost his fucking mind. Like, yo, instantly it became a crew classic, cult classic. That shit permeated through the streets of Philadelphia and Virginia like a fucking wildfire, man. I'm talking about every nigga and person in the NBA that my dog used to rock with knew that record. That nigga had the Sixers singing that shit, you know what I'm saying? Every basketball player that I met or met me was like, nigga, you made that song, you know what I'm saying? I remember that nigga Kevin Garnett put me in a fucking headlock in the middle of Georgia Avenue in Washington, D.C. when we was at a party one night. That nigga was like, yo, you made that shit? Nigga put me in a fucking headlock. Was like, man, I need that fucking song, man. Tell your man stop playing. We want to come out to that shit. The nigga was playing for the Timberwolves at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, so Maul came to the studio with me, but Grace ain't come, you know what I'm saying? So I felt some kind of way, you know what I mean? But I ain't tripped, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get to the crib, like I said, and get this bread before I leave. I'm like, yo, like I've been going for months. Like I could come back with something, you know what I'm saying? So the nigga had put the money up as far as a budget for Ty Gracie to do the project. Now, we went out one night, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't go, but I went, you know what I'm saying? I'll be still in Philly. Like I said, I'm trying to get to the crib, but I got to get this bread, you know what I'm saying? So we go out and shit. We go to a couple of spots. We go to this little hole in the wall shit. And we coming out the motherfucking spot. It's a calm night, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of eerie and shit. I remember talking to one of the homies like, man, this shit too quiet and cool. Like this shit feel weird, you know what I mean? It was me, a couple of the homies, you know what I'm saying? Bubba Chuck, you know what I'm saying? We Bentley'd up, nigga, you know what I mean? In a little hole in the wall spot in Philly and shit. So we come out that motherfucker, and it's a small ass parking lot, you know what I'm saying? So we walk into the cars and shit. It's a nigga come up, I think a Puerto Rican or a Mexican type looking nigga, trying to shake Chuck hand and shit, but Chuck on the way to go piss and shit. So he told the nigga, hold on, you know what I'm saying? He about to go piss, nigga, you know what I mean? Nigga, all you heard was the nigga just start letting off, you know what I'm saying? And goddamn, niggas scrambling and shit. Like, yo, so we throw Chuck in the back of the car and shit, you know what I'm saying? We standing right next to the nigga, you know what I mean? The nigga looking at us, you know what I'm saying? A nigga behind me or behind us got hit. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna even say the nigga name, but he got hit in the fucking leg. Everybody running, you know what I'm saying, crazy, the shit crazy. So niggas get the fuck up out of there. I know my man had to drop on homie, you know what I'm saying, this shit jam, you know what I'm saying. Buddy that got hit jumped in the motherfucking Bentley, nigga drove himself to the goddamn hospital. Chuck was straight, everybody else was good, you know what I'm saying. The nigga that got hit in the leg, you know what I mean. The shit was all on the news, in the newspapers and TV and all that shit, right? In Philly when this shit happened. So I'm like, man, this shit dumb, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I done been up here too fucking long, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. So we at Fridays and shit, or Houlihan's on City Line Avenue, or one of them streets in Philly and shit. And like I told you, me and Tyron, we ain't really been seeing eye to eye. So I go to, I'm pretty sure it's Houlihan's and shit. I'm getting out the car, you know what I'm saying, as I'm walking in the motherfucking the restaurant, it's a motherfucking suit coming out and shit. I don't know if the nigga was holding the door for me to come in or something, but we exchanged words, you know, as far as the nigga told me his name and I said, yo, I'm Danger and shit, you know what I'm saying? That nigga was like, what? You Danger? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. He like, look, man, it's a meeting we having, you know what I'm saying? Nigga introduced himself. I think it was Jason Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Vice president of Virgin Records, you know, at the time. I think it was Jason Jackson, a nigga named Big John that was the president, you know what I'm saying? But this nigga in the suit was like, yo, make sure you be at that fucking meeting. Y'all got a meeting with us, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you be there, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm scratching my head. I'm like, yo, okay, cool. But in my mind, I'm like, damn, niggas ain't tell me about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody said shit to me about it. So I ain't tripping. So, you know what I mean? Long story long, you know what I'm saying? Chuck ended up giving me a couple of dollars, you know what I'm saying? You know, I went to the Russian nigga and got me some jewels, nigga. I went and grabbed that motherfucking that rose gold. That shit wasn't even out yet, you know what I'm saying? I got the rose gold joint with the motherfucking invisible set, diamonds with the goddamn lock pendant and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I called the nigga, one of the homies, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna say his fucking name either, you know what I'm saying? To come and pick me up from Philly, you know what I'm saying? He was in Virginia and shit. I'm like, yo, nigga, come and get me, you know what I'm saying? So the nigga come and scoop me up and shit. And at the time, I'm gonna tell you a quick side story. We ran into Styles P. That nigga Styles P been getting to the bag for a minute, yo. We seen a nigga by himself, nigga with a bag full of fucking money. That nigga didn't flinch, like, and we was deep. You know what I mean? I remember I was waiting on my homie to come pick me up. We ran into this nigga Styles P at a hotel somewhere, and we was on the elevator. That nigga had like a Louis bag or something, nigga. That shit looked like that nigga robbed the bank. You know what I'm saying? I know he had some shows or something they did out there, but that nigga was dolo, like, and what? You know what I'm saying? That nigga was, you know, Styles real ass nigga, man. From back then, nigga, like, never giving a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Boom, cut to the, you know what I'm saying, back to the story. So the homie come pick me up from Virginia, come and scoop me up in Philly. And on the way back to Virginia, I'm telling him about this meeting and how I ain't even know about it, but niggas definitely want me to be there and shit. So I'm on the way back, and on the way back is when the process of, on the way back from Philadelphia after getting shot at and damn near killed, waiting for this fucking money, on the way back home to Virginia is when I started to make some records, you know what I'm saying, for the meeting and shit. You know what I mean? I started to make some records for the meeting. At that time, I made pop music, which was this shit with me and Myers, produced by Chris Lace and shit. Where that shit at? Cause Myers is a part of the KLOTH too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call Smoke out in a minute, and we gonna get into it. But I'm just bringing y'all up to speed. So I'm on the ride back to Virginia and shit. In my head, I'm like, I need to make some records for this meeting. I got some joints. You know, they the everyday life shit going crazy, but I need to make some shit. You know what I'm saying?
We came too far to let this shit just stop.
One of the joints,
the BLAK cloth, man. Don't get it
This
confused,
ain't hip hop,
This was another track that was on that goddamn
live
CD.
all the way.
You see
all
my
day.
face, make sure
You know
your
what I'm saying? Y'all know who we is, you know what I'm saying? For years, though.
Stay in your place
Doing it,
before
you know
your
what I'm
shit get popped.
Don't get rowdy, though.
They yelling CRU THIK, Dynasty Raiders, and you a toothpick. Rapping for some steak and potatoes, we on some new shit. And I know it's niggas that hate us, but they won't do shit. Dynasty is the greatest, I take a pool stick. Rock like butter your anus, don't be a fool, bitch. 15 minutes you're famous, then they forget your little ass like a nigga was nameless. What happened to that boy? Stay pointing them bangers, but ain't never pulled shit back with one of his fingers until he got his shit pushed back. Fucking with danger, you better jump back. Get back, bottle your anger before you get clapped. Make you swallow all of the chamber before they click clack. Shells pop the top off your six pack. Pour a little rot on the ground before I sip that. Smoke an ounce out of the pound before I flip that. Use your mouth to muffle the sound of the big cat. Who you thought was fucking around? You shouldn't have did that. Motherfucker, look at you now and where your wig at. X marks the spot on the ground where I'ma dig at. Lay your faggot ass to rest with a pig's at. How you missing half your chest and a rib back with a basketball size hole through your mid back, nigga. And bitch, nigga, that ain't it. If you think it's something sweet over here, you can get like we ain't trying to eat over here. You the shit. Motherfucker got another thing, come and get a grip. Motherfuckers got other things, jump and eat a dick. Trying to rap hard as hell when you really sweet as shit. Deep down inside, you know that really be the shit. So you try to go and hit everybody you can get, but they can't fuck with us. You can get a whole bus. Roll the MCs, get stomped in the dust. Compton in the bus.
No, really, like that shit was directed in a certain direction when I made that record, right? In my head, like I'm like putting this shit together. You hear niggas talking about, I don't write no, I ain't never wrote shit down, nigga, because I used to freestyle all the time. So when I got with the homies, like I started putting rhymes together in my fucking head in a format. But there ain't none of them shits. You ain't none of the music you ever heard from me, nigga, going back over 20 years. Ain't none of that shit ever hit no paper with no fucking pen. That shit all came from here. So when I hear Jay-Z ain't right and Big ain't right, nigga, I ain't never been impressed by that because I ain't never wrote. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came from freestyling literally, nigga, like making shit up off the top of my dome. So then when I got with niggas that knew how to format songs and all that shit, I just did it in my head and pieced my verses together like that. It is writing, it's just writing in my head. So boom, pop music, you know what I'm saying? I put together that, a couple of chick songs and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew this meeting was coming up. So I'm about to tap in with the God so we can pick the story up from here and shit. This nigga still up.
Yo, what's going down to the rhythm?